In this video, I'm about to reveal 40 soy sauce brands that are full of salt and chemicals, and exactly why they're worth avoiding, plus 15 clean, naturally brewed, and genuinely better options you should be using instead, starting with number 40, Kikkoman. Kikkoman's regular soy sauce might look like the gold standard because it's everywhere, from sushi bars to home kitchens, but the widely sold bottle is far from clean. This version carries a hefty sodium load of 900 to 1,000 milligrams per tablespoon, which means just a small pour can spike your blood pressure, cause bloating, water retention, and add significant stress to the kidneys. Even though Kikkoman uses a brewing process, the regular line still includes wheat, alcohol, and added color, which can irritate people with sensitivities. The caramel color used in some versions is concerning because certain classes of caramel coloring can contain 4-MEI, a heat-formed compound discussed in food safety reviews for potential long-term risks. Add to that the fact that the regular version relies heavily on concentrated natural glutamates, which can behave similarly to MSG in sensitive individuals. So while Kikkoman tastes authentic, the salt density plus wheat plus color additives make the everyday bottle a problem for anyone trying to reduce chemicals or protect heart and kidney health. Number 39. La Choy Soy Sauce. La Choy is one of the clearest examples of a chemically manufactured soy sauce instead of a naturally brewed one. Rather than fermenting soybeans for months, La Choy uses acid-hydrolyzed soy protein, a rapid chemical method that breaks down beans using hydrochloric acid. This shortcut produces harsh-tasting amino acids and may create contaminants like chloropropanols, which food scientists have flagged in past discussions. The sodium content is shockingly high, up to 1,000 milligrams per tablespoon, which can raise blood pressure and cause fluid retention with regular use. Because chemically produced soy sauce tastes sharp and flat, La Choy adds caramel color and stabilizers to give it a deeper color and smoother appearance. This color can contain trim levels of 4-MEI depending on the production batch. With no real fermentation, tons of salt, and chemical shortcuts, La Choy delivers the worst combination: high sodium, artificial flavor, and a lack of naturally developed umami. Number 38. Lee Kum Kee. Lee Kum Kee is a household name, but the regular soy sauce is loaded with salt and stabilizers. A single tablespoon can easily reach or exceed 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is nearly half the recommended daily limit. Beyond the salt, the ingredient list often includes caramel color, sodium benzoate, and additional flavor enhancers. Sodium benzoate becomes especially concerning when mixed with acidic foods, because it can form trace levels of benzene under certain conditions, something scientists have examined for years. The brand is known to adjust brewing methods depending on region, meaning some bottles may use partial fermentation blended with chemically hydrolyzed components to reduce cost. This creates a soy sauce that tastes strong but lacks the natural depth of fully fermented products. Number 37. Yamasa Regular Soy Sauce. Yamasa is a well-known Japanese brand, but the regular supermarket bottle still brings several problems. Sodium levels typically range from 920 to 1,000 milligrams per tablespoon, enough to overwhelm your daily intake quickly. While the sauce is brewed, Yamasa often adds alcohol as a preservative, which may trigger reactions in sensitive individuals or produce bitterness when heated. Some regional versions also include caramel color, which can introduce traces of 4-MEI. This additive is mainly used to standardize color, but it also signals that the product may be adjusted rather than purely brewed. Although Yamasa tastes better than cheap hydrolyzed sauces, the salt concentration is still dangerously high, and the added alcohol plus potential caramel color make it less clean than people expect. If your goal is minimizing sodium and chemical load, Yamasa's regular line isn't the healthiest pick. Number 36. Great Value Soy Sauce. Great Value Soy Sauce is a budget option, but that low price comes with a cost: chemical production instead of fermentation. This brand uses acid-hydrolyzed soy protein, which skips the natural months-long fermentation and instead breaks soybeans down using harsh acids, creating byproducts and a sharp, artificial flavor. The sodium content is also extremely high, often 950 to 1,000 milligrams per tablespoon. To mask the chemical taste, Great Value adds caramel color and preservatives, giving it a darker, brewed-looking appearance. The lack of actual fermentation means it contains none of the beneficial compounds that develop in naturally fermented soy sauces, such as organic acids and complex amino profiles. Instead, you get a sauce that is salty, chemically altered, artificially colored, and flat in flavor. Anyone trying to avoid additives, unnecessary sodium, or chemical residues should steer clear of this one. Number 35. Market Pantry Soy Sauce. Market Pantry Soy Sauce looks like the kind of everyday staple you toss into your cart without thinking twice, the type of bottle that blends in with the rest of your pantry. But behind that familiar label lies a set of problems most shoppers never notice. Unlike traditionally brewed soy sauces, which ferment for months and slowly develop depth, Market Pantry uses rapid processing methods that strip the sauce of its natural umami foundation. That means the rich, layered flavors you expect from authentic soy sauce simply never develop. Instead, the sauce leans heavily on harsh processing shortcuts that leave behind a sharp, metallic aftertaste, especially noticeable when heated. The flavor doesn't settle into food, it sits on top of it, creating uneven seasoning and a flat, salty bite. Over time, customers report the sauce becoming more acidic after opening, a sign that the formula doesn't age gracefully the way authentic fermented sauces do. Because the base flavor lacks body, each batch gets reinforced with balancing agents that mask inconsistencies, making the final product feel more artificial than authentic. For anyone who cares about real depth, clean ingredients, and balanced cooking, Market Pantry Soy Sauce simply doesn't deliver the savory backbone a good soy sauce should bring to your kitchen. Number 34. Kroger Soy Sauce. Kroger soy sauce is one of those bottles that shoppers grab without hesitation, trusting the familiar store brand logo to mean simple, safe, and reliable. But the truth behind this everyday condiment is far less comforting. While traditional soy sauces are slowly aged and fermented to build layers of savory depth, Kroger's version skips that craftsmanship entirely. Instead, it uses fast production shortcuts that leave the sauce hollow at its core, lacking the richness, warmth, and complexity that authentic soy sauce is known for. The result is a flavor that tastes thin and unstable, changing dramatically once it hits heat. Instead of melting into your dish, Kroger soy sauce often turns sharp, almost sour, leaving your food tasting uneven and strangely flat. Many home cooks notice that marinades made with this sauce tend to break down inconsistently, producing patches of intense salinity instead of balanced umami. Over time, the sauce also develops a faint bitterness after opening, a sign that its formula doesn't mature well and struggles to hold its flavor integrity. And because the base product lacks natural depth, it relies heavily on taste-correcting additions that give it an artificial edge rather than a naturally brewed smoothness. Number 33. Signature Select Soy Sauce. Signature Select Soy Sauce is one of those bottles people toss into their cart thinking it's a safe, everyday option, something cheap, simple, and good enough for weeknight meals. But once you actually cook with it, the weaknesses start showing. Instead of delivering the rounded, slow-developed umami that real fermentation creates, this sauce tastes thin, rushed, and strangely hollow, as if the flavor is trying to imitate soy sauce rather than actually being one. The biggest issue becomes obvious when you heat it. Signature Select Soy Sauce doesn't gently melt into stir-fries. It separates, leaving behind a bright, surface-level saltiness, with no depth underneath. In marinades, it clings poorly, giving food uneven seasoning and a slightly sticky aftertaste that doesn't reflect true brewed richness. Many customers also notice the flavor shifts quickly after opening. Within weeks, the sauce can develop a mild sour edge, showing that the formula lacks the natural stability found in traditionally aged soy sauces. Because the base is weak, manufacturers rely on flavor adjusters that create an artificial finish instead of a naturally balanced one. Number 32. Safeway Soy Sauce. Safeway's soy sauce looks straightforward on the shelf, but its taste tells a different story. Rather than developing flavor slowly with time, Safeway's version is built through fast, heat-driven processing that forces color and aroma into the sauce without giving it any of the subtlety found in proper fermentation. The result is a flavor that hits quickly but collapses just as fast. When added to hot dishes, the sauce tends to release a sudden, smoky bitterness instead of the warm, roasted umami people expect. That's because the high heat production creates harsh flavor compounds that don't hold up under cooking. In marinades, it performs even worse, often leaving behind a sharp, slightly burnt aftertaste that makes proteins taste more aggressively seasoned than balanced. Another common complaint from home cooks is how flat and dry Safeway soy sauce tastes. Instead of rounding out flavors, it sits heavily on the tongue, offering salt without complexity. And once opened, the sauce loses whatever aroma it had, surprisingly fast, turning dull and sharp within a short time. Number 31. Publix soy sauce. Publix soy sauce may look like a standard pantry staple, but its flavor profile reveals how far it strays from authentic brewing. Genuine soy sauces develop nuance through slow fermentation layers of aroma, savory depth, and natural balance. Publix's version skips that maturation entirely, leaving behind a sauce that feels unfinished and abrupt in taste. The first sign appears when you cook with it. Instead of blending smoothly into noodles, stir-fries, or broths, Publix soy sauce creates a quick punch of salinity that doesn't integrate with the dish. The flavor sits on the surface, giving food a sharp edge without supporting it with the roundedness that absolute umami provides. In marinades, it can make proteins taste uneven, some bites overpowering, others bland. Users also report that Publix soy sauce tends to develop a faint acidic smell not long after opening. That shift suggests the formula lacks the natural stabilizing compounds produced through fermentation. Because the foundational flavor is weak, the sauce leans on added components that create a manufactured, short-lived taste rather than a deep one. Number 30. Aldi Fuchsia Soy Sauce. Aldi's Fuchsia soy sauce looks like a bargain-friendly option, the kind of bottle you grab when you just need something basic for weeknight meals. But what most shoppers don't realize is how noticeably shallow and uneven this sauce becomes once it hits real cooking conditions. Instead of developing any rounded umami, Fuchsia soy sauce leans on a flavor base that feels thin, sharp, and strangely abrupt, almost as if it's missing the foundational richness soy sauce is supposed to provide. The biggest issue shows up when used in stir-fries or broths. Fuchsia doesn't integrate it, floats, leaving patches of intense salinity rather than a smooth, blended depth. In marinades, it breaks apart quickly, giving proteins a surface-level seasoning without actually carrying flavor underneath. The result is uneven taste and a slightly harsh afterbite that doesn't soften, no matter how long it cooks. Users also report that Fuchsia soy sauce loses aroma surprisingly fast after opening, turning flat and lifeless. Instead of adding warmth and complexity, it delivers a quick hit of flavor that disappears instantly, leaving dishes tasting unfinished. Number 29. Trader Joe's Regular Soy Sauce. Trader Joe's has a reputation for quality, but their regular soy sauce is one of the rare items that doesn't live up to the brand's image. While it appears straightforward, the flavor profile reveals how limited and underdeveloped it really is. Instead of delivering the smooth, layered depth people expect from a trusted label, the sauce feels muted, flat, and surprisingly unstable as soon as you cook with it. In hot dishes, Trader Joe's soy sauce often releases an unexpected bitterness, not strong, but noticeable enough to throw off the balance of noodles, broths, or vegetables. It doesn't cling well to food either, causing stir-fries to taste seasoned in some bites and empty in others. In marinades, it tends to wash off easily, creating a weak, watery finish rather than building genuine umami. Many customers mention that after a few uses, the sauce's scent drops off quickly, leaving little aroma and a slightly dusty, stale character. This shows it lacks the natural stabilizers created through proper aging. Number 28. Members Mark Soy Sauce. Members Mark soy sauce is sold in large bottles that appear cost-effective, but the flavor quality inside doesn't match the quantity. Instead of tasting rounded and savory, the sauce comes across as blunt and front-loaded, delivering a fast burst of sharp seasoning that doesn't settle into the dish. It's the kind of profile that feels manufactured strong at first, then suddenly empty. When used in large batch cooking, Members Mark soy sauce becomes even more unpredictable. It reacts differently depending on heat, sometimes turning slightly tangy, other times becoming overly harsh. This inconsistency makes it difficult to use for soups, fried rice, or marinades where stability matters. Rather than strengthening the dish, it often competes with it, leaving proteins tasting aggressively seasoned on the surface, but lacking depth inside. Its aroma fades as another issue after opening. The sauce loses its fragrance quickly, leaving behind a dull, flat scent that hints at weak flavor construction. This short lifespan makes the big bottle feel impractical, especially for cooks who want reliable flavor from start to finish. Number 27. Kirkland Regular Soy Sauce. Kirkland's regular soy sauce is a Costco staple, but the moment you use it in authentic recipes, the cracks begin to show. While the brand excels in many categories, this soy sauce feels unusually one-note and heavy-handed, lacking the gentle complexity that defines authentic soy sauce. Instead of melding into food, it tends to dominate it, creating a salty overlay rather than real depth. In cooking, Kirkland soy sauce often breaks down into a slightly burnt or smoky sharpness, especially in high-heat dishes. This gives stir-fries an unintended bitter edge that authentic fermented sauces don't produce. In marinades, it doesn't penetrate protein well, causing uneven seasoning and a surface-level punch that doesn't carry through. The sauce's aroma also fades sooner than expected, turning noticeably dull within a short time after opening. That rapid decline suggests a formula built for shelf life, not flavor development. Over time, the taste can shift toward a flat, almost stale profile that lacks the vibrancy Costco products are usually known for. Number 26. Dollar Tree Greenbrier Soy Sauce. Dollar Tree's Greenbrier soy sauce is one of those ultra-budget pantry items that looks harmless on the shelf, but once you cook with it, the weaknesses show immediately. Instead of giving your food a rounded, savory backbone, Greenbrier soy sauce hits with a sharp, flat saltiness that never settles into the dish. It has none of the slow-built warmth or depth you get from even mid-range sauces. The most enormous red flag appears when Greenbrier soy sauce is used in hot dishes. As soon as it touches heat, the flavor turns noticeably harsh and slightly acidic, almost as if the components aren't designed to withstand cooking temperatures. In marinades, it performs even worse, coating the surface with an uneven salty layer but failing to penetrate or bring authentic umami inside the protein. Users also report the sauce becoming stale-scented quickly after opening, losing whatever little aroma it started with. That rapid decline is a clear sign of a formula built for ultra-low cost, not flavor stability. Number 25. Clover Valley Soy Sauce. Clover Valley soy sauce from Dollar General looks like a functional, no-frills option, but in actual cooking, it behaves more like a thin seasoning liquid than an authentic soy sauce. Instead of contributing depth, it creates a quick, aggressive salt splash that doesn't merge with the rest of the ingredients. The flavor sits on top of your food rather than becoming part of it. When heated, Clover Valley develops a slightly burnt edge that throws off the balance of stir-fries and soups. It doesn't blend smoothly into broths, and in marinades, it tends to break apart, leaving behind uneven patches of salinity. This kind of instability makes it difficult to use consistently. You never know whether it will stay mild or suddenly overwhelm the dish. Another issue is aroma loss. The sauce tends to flatten out quickly after opening, turning dull and cardboard-like, which only amplifies the artificial feel of the flavor. Because the base profile lacks body, the sauce fails to bring the comforting, rounded savoriness expected from soy sauce. Number 24. Family Dollar Soy Sauce. Family Dollar soy sauce is marketed as a simple, budget-friendly alternative, but its performance in the kitchen reveals how far it strays from authentic flavor. Rather than delivering a smooth, savory base, this sauce tastes abrupt, sharp, and oddly hollow, as if key flavor components are missing entirely. The biggest weakness appears during cooking. The sauce doesn't integrate. When added to stir-fries or noodles, it lingers as a thin, surface-level saltiness, without giving the dish any real body. In marinades, it tends to slide off proteins rather than bonding with them, resulting in unseasoned interior bites and overly salty exterior patches. Another issue is the sauce's fast flavor decline. Many users say it starts developing a faint sour note not long after opening, indicating a formula that lacks stability or long-lasting flavor compounds. The aroma also fades quickly, leaving behind a bland, almost dusty scent. For cooks who rely on soy sauce as a dependable foundation for flavor, Family Dollar's version offers little more than a harsh, fleeting saltiness without any of the depth or richness that makes soy sauce essential. Number 23. Hy-Vee Soy Sauce. Hy-Vee soy sauce looks like a reasonable mid-tier option, but its flavor profile reveals how underdeveloped it truly is. Instead of delivering a rounded umami, the sauce comes across as thin, sharp, and disappointingly plain, lacking the multi-layered depth expected from even modestly brewed sauces. When heated, Hy-Vee's flavor shifts unpredictably. Some dishes end up tasting slightly bitter, others strangely hollow, as if the sauce can't decide whether it wants to be strong or subtle. In marinades, it struggles to hold onto proteins, creating a patchy, uneven seasoning that doesn't achieve the richness people rely on soy sauce to deliver. The aroma also fades faster than expected. What starts as a mild, simple scent often becomes flat and muted within a couple of uses, showing that the formula doesn't have the natural longevity of authentic soy sauces. Because the sauce lacks underlying complexity, dishes made with Hy-Vee often taste incomplete, salty on the surface, bland underneath. Number 22. Meyer Soy Sauce. Meyer soy sauce appears like a dependable store-brand choice, but its flavor tells a different story. Instead of enhancing dishes, the sauce often delivers a weak, washed-out taste that leaves food needing something more. The missing depth becomes especially noticeable in hot dishes, where Meyer soy sauce loses intensity instead of growing richer. When added to stir-fries or soups, the sauce tends to thin out, creating a subtle saltiness but almost no umami backbone. In marinades, it lacks cling, making proteins taste uneven and under-seasoned. This inability to anchor flavor suggests a formula that doesn't carry the natural structure or stability of authentic brewed soy sauces. Another problem is its short aroma lifespan. After opening, the fragrance turns dull surprisingly fast, leaving the sauce tasting increasingly flat with each use. Instead of adding depth, Meyer soy sauce often forces cooks to use more just to create the illusion of flavor, yet still delivers a weak, fading finish. Number 21. Giant Eagle soy sauce. Giant Eagle soy sauce looks like a safe, everyday option, the kind of bottle you toss into your cart, assuming it will do the job. But once you cook with it, the cracks start showing. Instead of adding depth, the sauce often delivers a flat, overly direct punch that doesn't blend into dishes the way authentic soy sauce should. In hot dishes, it tends to lose what little aroma it has, fading into a sharp, thin note that sits awkwardly on top of food. When used in marinades, Giant Eagle's formula struggles to bind with proteins. It seasons the surface aggressively but leaves the inside tasting untouched, creating uneven flavor that feels more like a quick brine than a true umami base. Another issue is its tendency to turn slightly musty in scent after a few uses, suggesting the sauce lacks stability and doesn't maintain its profile over time. For cooks who rely on soy sauce for warmth and balanced savoriness, Giant Eagle's version feels unfinished, more like a salty liquid than a fundamental building block of flavor. Number 20. ShopRite soy sauce. ShopRite soy sauce appears like a practical pantry staple, but its performance in the kitchen reveals a different story. Instead of blending into food with subtle complexity, the flavor comes across as hollow and loosely structured, offering strength without body. That thinness becomes even more evident during cooking, where the sauce can take on a faint, bitter edge that disrupts the dish's overall balance. In marinades, ShopRite soy sauce tends to separate quickly, creating streaky seasoning that clings in some areas and disappears in others. It lacks the cohesion that real brewed soy sauces naturally develop through fermentation. Users also report that after opening, the sauce's aroma becomes muted faster than expected, leaving behind a scent that feels tired and dull. Because its underlying flavor is weak, the sauce forces cooks to use more just to achieve a basic amount of depth, yet the dish still tastes incomplete. Number 19. Harris Teeter soy sauce. Harris Teeter soy sauce is marketed as a dependable store-brand option, but its flavor profile lacks the layered richness that makes soy sauce a cornerstone of savory cooking. Instead of contributing warmth and depth, the sauce often tastes thin, abrupt, and short-lived, leaving dishes feeling unfinished. When heated, Harris Teeter soy sauce can shift toward a slightly medicinal or sharp note, especially in stir-fries. This happens because the flavor compounds aren't stable under high heat, causing them to break apart rather than deepen. In marinades, it struggles just as much, coating proteins inconsistently and making the surface taste aggressively seasoned, while the interior remains bland. A recurring issue is aroma fade. After opening, the scent quickly becomes faint and papery, suggesting the formula doesn't contain the natural stabilizing acids formed in properly aged soy sauces. That rapid decline leads to a sauce that tastes weaker each time you use it. Number 18. Food Lion soy sauce. Food Lion soy sauce looks like a straightforward, budget-friendly choice, but once you cook with it, it becomes clear how limited its flavor really is. Instead of creating depth, the sauce offers a quick, sharp burst that fades almost immediately, leaving dishes tasting empty beneath the initial saltiness. In heated dishes, Food Lion soy sauce can develop a faintly harsh edge, especially in stir-fries or broths. Rather than blending in, the flavor tends to sit separately, giving the dish a disjointed, surface-level taste. When used in marinades, it doesn't anchor properly. Proteins come out unevenly seasoned, with some bites tasting strong and others bland. Another concern is how quickly the sauce loses its fragrance once opened. Within a short span, the aroma becomes noticeably weaker, signaling a formula that lacks natural longevity. That instability forces cooks to use more sauce each time, yet still results in a flavor that feels incomplete. Number 17. Winco soy sauce. Winco soy sauce is a classic warehouse-style budget option, but its low price shows in the way it behaves in the kitchen. The sauce tastes muted and loosely constructed, delivering seasoning without any meaningful umami. Instead of enhancing dishes, it often highlights their weaknesses by adding a salty note without providing body. When heated, Winco soy sauce can shift toward a slightly smoky sharpness that throws off the balance of stir-fries or noodles. The flavor doesn't settle. It flickers, appearing strong in one moment and nearly disappearing the next. In marinades, it washes off easily, leaving proteins with a damp saltiness instead of a deep, integrated flavor. The sauce also tends to lose aroma soon after opening, turning flat and uninspiring. Without the natural complexity of real fermentation, the scent starts collapsing quickly, which only emphasizes how shallow the flavor foundation is. Number 16. Piggly Wiggly soy sauce. Piggly Wiggly soy sauce is a nostalgic grocery store classic, but its formula lacks the refinement needed for consistent cooking. The flavor feels rough around the edges, delivering a hit of seasoning without any of the mellow, rounded qualities that define good soy sauce. Instead of contributing warmth, it adds a sharp, slightly jarring note. In hot dishes, the sauce often turns slightly sour or sharp, as if the flavor compounds aren't stable under heat. This makes stir-fries taste uneven and broths feel off-balance. In marinades, the sauce struggles to soak into proteins, leaving the interior flavorless and the outside overly seasoned. One of the most noticeable issues is how quickly the sauce's aroma degrades. After opening, it tends to flatten into a dull, stale scent that doesn't bring any excitement to the dish. That rapid decline suggests a formula built for cost rather than flavor integrity. Number 15. Western Family soy sauce. Western Family soy sauce comes across as a simple shelf staple. Still, its flavor profile leans heavily toward thin and forgettable, lacking the robustness that gives authentic soy sauce its signature character. Instead of offering a layered, evolving taste, it hits quickly and disappears, leaving behind a plain saltiness that doesn't support the meal. During cooking, Western Family soy sauce can become unexpectedly sharp, especially at high heat. It doesn't mellow or deepen. Instead, the flavor becomes pointed and slightly uneven. In marinades, its performance is just as limited. It doesn't cling well, leaving proteins inconsistently seasoned and without that satisfying umami finish. The aroma decline is another concern. After opening, the scent becomes faint within a short time, turning into a muted, almost stale character that signals weak underlying compounds. This makes dishes taste increasingly flat, even when more sauce is added. Number 14. Weiss soy sauce. Weiss soy sauce looks like a safe, middle-priced pantry pick, but once you start cooking with it, its shortcomings become hard to ignore. Instead of developing a warm, steady umami, Weiss delivers a quick, surface-level hit that fades almost instantly, making dishes taste underseasoned beneath the initial burst. When heated, the sauce tends to release a faint, sharp edge that doesn't blend with noodles, vegetables, or proteins. It sits awkwardly on top, creating an uneven flavor. In marinades, the sauce performs just as unpredictably. It clings in patches, leaving some areas intensely seasoned and others nearly untouched. Many users also notice a muddy, stale-like scent developing soon after opening, which hints at a formula that lacks stability and doesn't hold its aromatic structure over time. Instead of offering depth or complexity, Weiss soy sauce behaves more like a thin, salty coating. For cooks who want consistency, roundness, and a real umami backbone, it makes dishes feel incomplete and makes you wish you'd used something better. Number 13. Big Y soy sauce. Big Y soy sauce is one of those bottles that looks dependable on the shelf, but its flavor behaves surprisingly differently once it hits the pan. Instead of melting smoothly into food, the sauce gives a blunt, flat impact that doesn't evolve or deepen as it cooks. In stir-fries, it can take on a slightly chalky or off-dry taste that throws off the natural balance of the dish. A recurring issue with Big Y soy sauce is its inability to hold flavor structure under heat. As soon as you cook with it, the flavor seems to collapse, leaving behind a thin salinity without any real body. In marinades, it doesn't penetrate proteins well, creating an outer layer that feels seasoned but an interior that tastes untouched. After opening, the aroma begins to dull quickly, shifting toward a papery, tired scent that signals breakdown in flavor compounds. That rapid decline makes the sauce feel weak and unreliable with repeated use. Number 12. Topps soy sauce. Topps soy sauce feels like a budget-friendly shortcut, but its taste reveals how far it falls from authentic soy sauce craftsmanship. Instead of carrying a deep, mellow umami, the sauce gives off a thin, slightly scratchy flavor that doesn't blend into dishes well. In hot recipes, it often shifts toward a faintly harsh, almost woody note that disrupts the harmony of stir-fries or soups. In marinades, Topps soy sauce behaves inconsistently. It tends to sit on the surface of proteins, leaving the inside tasting plain while the exterior becomes overly salted. The sauce's aroma also fades rapidly after opening, turning into a faint, almost dusty smell that offers no real appeal when cooking. Its biggest flaw is how narrow and short-lived the flavor feels. Instead of supporting other ingredients, it stands apart awkwardly, as though the sauce can't integrate with the dish. For cooks who expect soy sauce to elevate and round out flavors, Topps feels underpowered, unstable, and lacking the complexity needed for dependable cooking. Number 11. Shaw's soy sauce. Shaw's soy sauce might appear like a reliable East Coast staple, but once you use it in authentic recipes, its limitations become unmistakable. The flavor is abrupt and unpolished, offering a quick burst of salinity with none of the deep, mellow undertones associated with authentic soy sauce. When heated, it often turns slightly sharp, giving dishes an unsettled taste instead of the smooth umami people expect. In marinades, Shaw's soy sauce struggles to anchor flavor. Proteins absorb some of the salt, but not the savory character, leaving food tasting uneven and one-dimensional. The sauce also loses its aroma faster than most, shifting into a dull, flat scent that reveals how little depth the formula actually contains. Another common complaint is how rigid the flavor feels. It doesn't soften or expand as the dish cooks. Instead, it stays pointed and thin, creating a harsh top note that doesn't blend into the rest of the ingredients. Number 10. H-E-B soy sauce. H-E-B is known for solid store-brand products, but their regular soy sauce is surprisingly underwhelming. Instead of delivering a warm, savory backbone, the sauce tastes loose, shallow, and oddly faint, making it difficult to build real depth in everyday dishes. In stir-fries, it loses intensity quickly, leaving behind a thin, sharp residue instead of a rich umami base. The biggest issue is how inconsistently it behaves under heat. Some dishes end up tasting mildly bitter, others overly sharp, as if the flavor components don't stabilize during cooking. In marinades, H-E-B soy sauce doesn't adhere well, leaving proteins seasoned unevenly and lacking that satisfying internal richness. Its aroma also declines faster than most soy sauces. After opening, the scent becomes muted and slightly off-dry, signaling that the formula isn't built for long-term stability or layered flavor development. For a brand that usually delivers dependable pantry staples, this soy sauce feels like a rare miss, thin on flavor, weak in cooking performance, and unable to provide the savory strength that makes soy sauce such an essential ingredient. Number 9. Fred Meyer soy sauce. Fred Meyer soy sauce looks like a simple, no-nonsense pantry staple, but once you start cooking with it, its limitations appear immediately. Instead of melting into dishes with a slow, savory depth, the sauce hits with a quick, hollow salinity that doesn't settle into the food. The flavor feels rushed, thin, and almost unfinished, more like a salty liquid than a true seasoning base. In hot dishes, Fred Meyer soy sauce often shifts toward a lightly medicinal or sharp note, especially in stir-fries. Rather than rounding out flavors, it can disrupt them, giving vegetables or noodles a slightly off-balance taste. In marinades, the sauce doesn't anchor itself well. It slides across proteins, creating an outer layer of uneven seasoning without penetrating deeper. A complaint is its aroma collapse. After opening, the scent flattens quickly, turning faint and papery, an indication that the formula doesn't hold its structure over time. Number 8. Fry's soy sauce. Fry's soy sauce seems like an ordinary store-brand pick, but its performance in the kitchen tells a different story. Instead of enhancing food with a steady, savory note, Fry's gives off a sharp, echoey flavor that doesn't integrate into the dish. It feels disconnected, offering brightness without real depth. When heated, the sauce tends to shift toward a slightly dry, almost tannic edge, which becomes especially noticeable in stir-fries and broths. It can make dishes taste unevenly strong in one moment and absent in the next. In marinades, it behaves just as inconsistently. Instead of blending into the protein, Fry's soy sauce sits on the surface, leaving chicken, beef, or tofu with a patchy seasoning pattern. Its aroma is another problem. After a few uses, it loses whatever mild scent it started with, becoming dull and muted. That rapid breakdown signals a formula that lacks the stabilizing compounds found in properly aged soy sauces. Number 7. Ralph's soy sauce. Ralph's soy sauce appears like a routine grocery store choice, but its flavor falls noticeably short once you start cooking. Instead of offering a warm, slow-building umami, Ralph's delivers a thin, punctuated taste that doesn't deepen or evolve. It feels abrupt, too like the flavor cuts off just when it should be opening up. When heated, the sauce can take on a slightly bitter or hollow note, which quickly disrupts the harmony of stir-fries or soups. It also struggles in marinades. Rather than blending with proteins, the sauce forms a shallow coating that doesn't carry inward, leaving dishes seasoned on the surface but bland underneath. Another recurring issue is aroma loss. The sauce's scent fades faster than expected after opening, turning into a faint, empty smell that reveals how little complexity the formula actually has. Without aromatic depth, your dishes end up tasting flimsier each time you cook. Number 6. Price Chopper Soy Sauce. Price Chopper soy sauce is marketed as an affordable pantry option, but the flavor behaves more like a shortcut than an authentic soy sauce. Instead of giving a rounded, savory base, it delivers a quick, narrow burst that doesn't integrate seamlessly with other ingredients. The taste feels shallow at first, then gone before the dish comes together. Its biggest weakness appears during cooking. When added to hot dishes, Price Chopper soy sauce often develops a slightly chalky or off-dry edge, which can make broths, stir-fries, or noodle dishes taste disjointed. In marinades, it performs unpredictably, sometimes drying on the surface rather than absorbing properly. This leaves proteins with an unbalanced finish, salty in spots, but lacking actual depth. After opening, the sauce tends to flatten quickly in aroma, losing its initial scent and turning into a dull, muted smell. That rapid decline shows the formula doesn't contain the natural stabilizers that handcrafted soy sauces develop through slow fermentation. Number 5. Pearl River Bridge Regular Soy Sauce. Pearl River Bridge is a well-known name, but its regular line is surprisingly inconsistent. Unlike their premium tiers, this basic version feels sharp, abrupt, and overly pointed in flavor, lacking the smooth, rounded character expected from an established brand. Instead of melting into food, it stands out uncomfortably, creating a top-note saltiness that doesn't match the underlying dish. When heated, the regular version can develop a faintly metallic or burnt undertone, especially noticeable in fast stir-fries. It reacts quickly and unpredictably to high heat, losing subtlety instead of deepening. In marinades, the sauce doesn't fully bind with proteins, causing a surface-heavy flavor that doesn't balance well across the meal. Another issue is the aroma. While initially decent, it fades sooner than expected, shifting into a flat, dry scent that signals weak foundational structure. Pearl River Bridge's regular line simply doesn't have the slow-aged depth that their premium bottles offer. Number 4. Wanjiashan Regular Soy Sauce. Wanjiashan is a respected name in Asian condiments, but the regular commercial line doesn't live up to the brand's artisanal reputation. Instead of offering a smooth, naturally layered umami, this version tastes tight, sharp, and oddly stiff, as if the flavor gets stuck before it can fully unfold. In cooking, the sauce tends to break apart rather than blend, leaving dishes with an unbalanced, salty top note without actual depth underneath. In high-heat dishes, Wanjiashan's regular line often develops a slight bitter twang that disrupts noodles, vegetables, and stir-fries, making meals taste harsher than intended. In marinades, it performs inconsistently, absorbing in patches while leaving other areas untouched, creating uneven flavor distribution. Users also notice that the aroma doesn't hold up well after opening. Within a short time, it loses its warmth and turns into a faint, almost dry smell that signals the formula lacks long-term stability. For cooks expecting restaurant-level flavor from a reputable brand, this regular version feels surprisingly rigid and underdeveloped, missing the softness and layered character that makes soy sauce truly flavorful. Number 3. ABC Soy Sauce. ABC soy sauce is famous for its Indonesian kecap manis, but the regular savory line is an entirely different story. Instead of the velvety thickness and rich aromatics people expect from the brand, this version tastes flat, overly sweetened, and loosely structured, creating a confused flavor profile that doesn't anchor dishes properly. The sweetness doesn't round out the savory notes. It competes with them, leaving the food tasting uneven. When heated, ABC's regular soy sauce often becomes sticky and overly pronounced, giving stir-fries an almost syrupy edge that throws off the natural balance. It doesn't integrate well with garlic, chilies, or vegetables, making the dish taste unbalanced. In marinades, the sauce struggles to penetrate protein, forming a sweet, salty surface film instead of providing real umami depth. Another issue is aroma drift. After opening, the smell shifts quickly into a sugary, slightly artificial note, exposing how unstable the formula is without slow fermentation to anchor its base. Number 2. Amoy soy sauce. Amoy is a widely recognized brand throughout Asia, but its regular commercial-grade soy sauce often disappoints when used in authentic cooking. Instead of delivering a deep, rounded umami, the sauce feels thin, sharp-edged, and fleeting, disappearing the moment it hits the heat. That lack of staying power makes dishes taste unbalanced, especially stir-fries that depend on soy sauce to anchor their flavor. In hot dishes, Amoy's regular line can develop a dry, slightly metallic finish, making vegetables taste harsher and noodles overly pointed. It doesn't mellow or caramelize, it simply evaporates into a quick burst of saltiness. In marinades, it performs equally poorly, coating proteins without bonding to them, leaving meals tasting surface-seasoned rather than intensely flavored. Its aroma also collapses quickly after opening, turning muted and faint, revealing a formula without the complexity or stability of properly aged soy sauce. That fast decline makes the sauce feel lifeless with each use. Number 1. Kimlan soy sauce. Kimlan is known for its premium, slow-brewed sauces, but the regular commercial line is a very different product. Instead of carrying the brand's signature soft umami and rounded sweetness, this version tastes thin, abrupt, and disappointingly plain, giving dishes a surface-level flavor without genuine complexity. It feels like an entry-level formula designed for cost efficiency rather than depth. When cooked, Kimlan's regular soy sauce often turns slightly dry and hollow, especially in stir-fries. The flavor evaporates quickly, leaving behind a sharp edge instead of the slow-developing richness people expect from Kimlan. In marinades, it struggles to merge with proteins, resulting in uneven seasoning and a lack of internal flavor. A common issue is aroma instability. The scent fades faster than many cheaper store brands, shifting into a dull, neutral smell that doesn't offer any warmth or appeal. That rapid aroma collapse highlights how far this version strays from Kimlan's premium brewing standards. For loyal fans of the brand, this commercial line is surprisingly underwhelming, delivering little of the depth or balance that has made Kimlan famous. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. Not every soy sauce is overloaded with salt, artificial flavors, and chemical preservatives. Some brands are actually clean, balanced, and made the traditional way, like Number 15. Sanjay Tamari. Sanjay Tamari stands out because it's one of the few soy sauces still made through patient, traditional brewing. Instead of rushing flavor with shortcuts, Sanjay allows soybeans to ferment slowly, letting natural enzymes create a deep, rounded umami that feels warm and balanced instead of sharp. Because it's wheat-free, the flavor stays clean and focused, with a smooth finish that blends beautifully into stir-fries, soups, dressings, or marinades. Unlike commercial sauces that lose aroma quickly, Sanjay Tamari maintains its fragrance long after opening, thanks to the organic acids and peptides created during fermentation. When cooked, it doesn't turn bitter or overly salty. It actually gets deeper, giving food a complete, savory backbone. For anyone who wants a clean, gluten-free option that still tastes like true Japanese craftsmanship, Sanjay Tamari is one of the most reliable and naturally brewed choices available. Number 14. Eden Foods Shoyu. Eden Foods Shoyu is brewed with old-world patience, using whole soybeans, whole wheat, and months of natural fermentation to build flavor the right way. That time investment creates a soft, layered umami that feels comforting and grounded, nothing like the sharpness of commercial shortcut sauces. In cooking, Eden Shoyu melts seamlessly into food, bringing depth to noodles, broths, sushi rice, vegetables, and marinades without ever overpowering the dish. The aroma stays stable after opening because the sauce contains real fermentation byproducts, not artificial stabilizers. Eden avoids artificial additives entirely, making this one of the cleanest everyday shoyus on the market. If you want a trustworthy, balanced, naturally brewed soy sauce that respects tradition and elevates simple meals, Eden Shoyu is a standout choice. Number 13. Osawa Organic Nama Shoyu. Osawa Nama Shoyu is considered one of the purest soy sauces in the world, and for good reason. Nama means unpasteurized, so the sauce retains its live enzymes, delicate aromatics, and deep fermentation character. The flavor is elegant, rounded, and almost buttery, opening slowly into a rich, authentic umami that feels alive compared to heat-processed sauces. This sauce shines in raw or low-heat dishes like sushi, dipping sauces, or dressings because its natural aromatics stay intact. Even a small amount transforms food with a warm, savory depth. Because it's crafted in small batches using traditional cedar barrels, Osawa Nama Shoyu carries subtle notes you won't find in commercial sauces. For people who want soy sauce in its most artisanal, nutrient-rich form, this is one of the cleanest and finest bottles available. Number 12. Kikkoman Organic Naturally Brewed. Kikkoman's organic, naturally brewed version is worlds apart from their regular line. Here, whole organic soybeans and wheat are fermented slowly in wooden vats, creating a smooth, mellow, beautifully balanced umami that cooks evenly and never turns harsh. In stir-fries and soups, the flavor deepens rather than sharpens, giving dishes a warm, rounded finish. In marinades, it penetrates evenly and helps bring out the natural sweetness in vegetables and proteins. Because the sauce relies on real fermentation instead of additives, its aroma stays intact after opening and holds its character for weeks. For anyone wanting a clean, accessible soy sauce that delivers traditional flavor without boutique pricing, Kikkoman's organic line is one of the most dependable and widely available clean choices. Number 11. Shoyu by Goldmine. Goldmine's shoyu is brewed the way traditional Japanese soy sauce was meant to be made, slowly, patiently, and without shortcuts. The sauce ferments for months, allowing natural yeast and koji enzymes to build a gentle, mellow umami that opens gradually instead of hitting sharply. You can taste the difference immediately. The flavor is soft, rounded, and quietly complex, perfect for cooks who want depth without harsh edges. In cooking, Goldmine shoyu integrates beautifully. It melts into broths, marinades, and noodles with a smooth, calming richness that enhances ingredients rather than dominating them. There's no bitterness, no sharp aftertaste, just a warm savoriness that holds together even under heat. Because it's brewed traditionally and free from artificial additives, the aroma stays stable long after opening. For anyone wanting real, handcrafted shoyu that respects centuries-old brewing methods, Goldmine delivers a clean, trustworthy, beautifully balanced bottle. Number 10. Yamasan Organic Tamari. Yamasan Organic Tamari comes from a brewery that still uses traditional cedar barrels, which gives this sauce its unmistakably deep, roasted umami and smooth finish. It's brewed slowly with organic soybeans and zero wheat, making the flavor clean, focused, and naturally rich. In stir-fries and soups, Yamasan Tamari builds warmth without ever turning sharp. The savory notes deepen with heat, giving dishes a full-bodied grounding that feels both authentic and comforting. In dipping sauces or dressings, the subtle roasted aroma really shines, offering complexity that cheap sauces can't imitate. Because it's brewed traditionally and without additives, the aroma holds beautifully after opening. No fading, no dulling, just steady, dependable richness. For people who love real Japanese tamari with clean ingredients and actual fermentation depth, Yamasan is one of the purest options you can buy. Number 9. Coconut Secret Soy-Free Aminos. Coconut Secret isn't soy sauce. It's a soy-free alternative made from fermented coconut blossom sap. But its popularity comes from how clean, gentle, and naturally savory it tastes, without relying on harsh salt or artificial flavoring. The sweetness is mild, the savory note warm, and the overall flavor incredibly smooth. In cooking, it offers a softer, friendlier profile than traditional soy sauce, perfect for people who want depth without intensity. It integrates beautifully into vegetables, tofu, salad dressings, glazes, and stir-fries, adding richness without overpowering delicate ingredients. Because it's naturally fermented and free from additives, it's one of the safest options for people with allergies or sensitivities. For anyone seeking a clean, low-salt, soy-free seasoning that still brings warmth and balance, Coconut Secret is an excellent choice. Number 8. Bragg Liquid Aminos. Bragg Liquid Aminos is a clean, soy-based seasoning known for its simplicity and gentle umami. Made without artificial colors, preservatives, or aggressive processing, it has a smooth, mild flavor that works in both raw and cooked dishes. Unlike commercial soy sauces that can taste sharp or overly salty, Bragg remains balanced under heat, adding a soft, savory note that enhances stir-fries, vegetables, noodles, and marinades. Its flavor doesn't collapse or turn bitter, making it one of the most consistent, clean options. The aroma holds up well after opening because the seasoning relies on natural amino acids for stability. For everyday cooking, especially for people seeking a cleaner ingredient list without sacrificing flavor, Bragg Liquid Aminos is a dependable, versatile, and widely trusted choice. Number 7. Big Tree Farms Coconut Aminos. Big Tree Farms Coconut Aminos is one of the cleanest soy-free seasonings made from fermented coconut blossom nectar without artificial flavors, preservatives, or heavy sodium. The taste is soft, naturally sweet savory, and incredibly smooth, perfect for people who want richness without the bite of traditional soy sauce. When added to stir-fries, veggies, or glazes, it blends in gently, giving dishes a balanced warmth instead of an overpowering salt hit. Because it's low in sodium and made through natural fermentation, the flavor stays stable and pleasant even after opening. What makes Big Tree Farm special is how well it works with diet-sensitive households, gluten-free, soy-free, paleo, and Whole 3-0 friendly. It's not trying to mimic soy sauce exactly. It brings its own light, clean identity that enhances food without heaviness. For anyone wanting a mild, nourishing alternative, this is a standout clean option. Number 6. Thrive Market Organic Tamari. Thrive Market's Organic Tamari is a surprisingly premium sauce at an accessible price. Brewed slowly from whole organic soybeans and no wheat, the flavor is rich, smooth, and deeply savory, offering restaurant-level depth in everyday cooking. It performs beautifully in hot dishes, with no bitterness, no sharp edges. Instead, the flavor opens gradually and wraps around vegetables, noodles, and proteins with steady umami. In marinades, it penetrates evenly, creating a balanced flavor throughout the dish. Because it's made through real fermentation and contains no artificial stabilizers, its aroma stays robust and clean long after opening. This makes it an ideal pantry staple for home cooks who want a clean, trustworthy tamari without paying premium artisan prices. For everyday use, Thrive's tamari delivers impressive purity and consistency. Number 5. Wanjiashan Organic Shoyu. Wanjiashan's organic line is worlds different from their commercial versions. Brewed traditionally in small batches, this shoyu offers a soft, elegant umami with gentle sweetness and subtle aromatic depth. The flavor feels calm, balanced, and deeply integrated, with nothing harsh or metallic. In cooking, it blends seamlessly with stir-fries, soups, and dressings, giving dishes a refined Japanese-style roundness. Unlike regular soy sauces that can turn sharp, Wanjiashan Organic stays stable under heat, enhancing food with natural richness instead of overpowering it. Because it's organic and naturally brewed, it contains no artificial coloring, preservatives, or shortcuts. The aroma remains strong and pleasant after opening, reflecting the strength of its fermentation. For cooks who want a clean, environmentally conscious, authentically brewed shoyu, this bottle delivers impressive quality. Number 4. 365 Organic Tamari. 365. Organic tamari is one of the most dependable clean options available in a mainstream grocery store. Brewed traditionally with organic soybeans and no wheat, the flavor is smooth, steady, and surprisingly full-bodied, making it perfect for anyone wanting a clean yet affordable tamari. In hot dishes, it stays stable, with no bitterness, no acidic edge, just a warm, savory backbone that enhances vegetables, ramen, rice bowls, and marinades with ease. In cold dishes or dipping sauces, the gently roasted aroma stands out, giving food a satisfying depth. Because it's organic and free from unnecessary additives, its fragrance holds up very well after opening. It's a great everyday option for clean eating, especially for cooks who want reliable, naturally brewed soy sauce without artisan-level pricing. Number 3. Sky Valley Organic Soy Sauce. Sky Valley Organic Soy Sauce is crafted for people who want clean ingredients without sacrificing depth. Unlike mass-produced sauces that rely on heavy salt or caramel coloring, Sky Valley uses slow fermentation and organic soybeans to develop a naturally rounded umami. The taste is smooth, warm, and slightly earthy, making it ideal for cooks who want flavor that feels balanced rather than sharp. In hot dishes, it holds its structure beautifully. No metallic edge, just a steady, comforting savoriness that enhances vegetables, noodles, and rice without overpowering them. In marinades, it penetrates evenly and adds a soft, full-bodied richness that makes proteins taste more developed. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and free from artificial preservatives, so the aroma stays clean and accurate even after opening. For home cooks wanting an accessible organic soy sauce with genuine fermented depth, Sky Valley is a reliable, clean, everyday favorite. Number 2. Organicville Soy-Free Aminos. Organicville Soy-Free Aminos is the ideal clean option for anyone avoiding soy, gluten, or excess sodium. Instead of relying on synthetic flavors, it's made from naturally fermented coconut sap, creating a mild, sweet, savory flavor that never feels overpowering. The taste is gentle, smooth, and perfect for people who find regular soy sauce too sharp or salty. In cooking, Organicville blends seamlessly, especially in stir-fries, roasted veggies, and dressings, adding warm umami without the harsh bite. Because it's minimally processed and free from chemical stabilizers, the flavor stays consistent and fresh even after weeks of use. It's also noticeably lighter on the palate, making it great for low-salt or clean-eating lifestyles. While it doesn't duplicate soy sauce exactly, it brings a wholesome, balanced quality that lifts dishes softly. For families needing a clean, allergy-friendly alternative, Organicville is one of the safest, most versatile choices. Number 1. Carry Out Organic Tamari Packets. Carry Out Organic Tamari Packets offer one of the cleanest, most convenient soy sauce options available, perfect for travel, meal prep, or portion control. Brewed from organic soybeans and no wheat, the flavor is surprisingly rich and full, even though it comes in single-serve packets. You still get the deep, smooth umami of real tamari without any bitterness or artificial additives. In cooking, it behaves just like bottled tamari, steady, warm, and balanced. It mixes smoothly into sauces, rice bowls, sushi, and stir-fries, offering a clean, savory backbone without the sodium overload found in cheap packets from restaurants. Because each serving is sealed individually, the aroma and flavor stay fresher than open bottles, making it one of the most stable and consistent clean soy sauce options. For anyone who wants real, organic, naturally brewed tamari in a mess-free format, Carry Out packets deliver purity and convenience in one,